What is up, guys? How are you all doing today? I'm Al-Khalifa and this is Freestyle Skateboarding Trick Tips, and today's trick tip is going to be on the Railstand Nightmare Flip. So first, I'm going to show you guys how it looks like, then I'm going to explain to you how it's done. Okay, so first you want to know how to get to a rail stand. A rail stand is basically when you're standing on the board when it's sideways, okay? Now, there are multiple ways of getting into a rail stand, but I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest way. Okay, so what you want to do is pin down either the nose or the tail of the board. Then you're going to bring either your left or right foot. I'm more comfortable bringing my left foot, so I'm going to bring it over and place it near that wheel, just right there. And I'm going to keep my foot tilted a bit in this manner, while my other foot is pinning the board down. And what you're going to do with your foot that's near the wheel is try to push against the wheel and shove the board and make it land sideways. Now, when you're going to try to do this, there are common issues you might face. The first one being the board flipping over and landing upside down. Now, if this is happening, then what you want to focus on doing is pinning the board down as soon as it lands sideways. So after you shove and it hits the ground, you want to immediately stomp your foot on the wheel and pin the board down, because the board will sometimes have the tendency to flip over after it lands sideways if you're not immediately pinning it down. So make sure that you're doing that. And the second issue you might face is the board might slide or roll away from you immediately after you try to shove. And in order to prevent this from happening, there are two things you want to do. First, you want to make sure that you're shoving the board in this direction and not at an angle with your foot that's near the wheel, okay? And the second thing you want to do is make sure that you're pinning the board down fairly strong, but not too strong with your other foot, so that you've got control of the board and you don't lose it immediately after you try to shove, okay? And it's only, of course, after you shove the board and make it land sideways that you're no longer going to be pinning the board, okay? So just practice doing this a lot and try to get good at it. And once you feel you're pretty consistent at doing this, then it's time for you to simply just lift your other foot and place it on the other wheel. And remember to stay crouched, as this will help you keep your balance, not only in the rail stand, but throughout the whole trick really. So keep that in mind. So a real quick recap for this first part. You're gonna pin the nose or the tail of the board down, and then bring one foot, place it near the wheel, shove, lift yourself, and you've got yourself a rail stand. And the more you practice doing this, the faster you're going to be able to do it. The next step is figuring out the foot placement to finally flip the board and give it the nice nightmare flip, okay? So as you get into the rail stand, you're going to then bring one foot and place it towards the edge with your toes hanging off just a bit. Now, the foot that's going to be on the edge is going to be the main one that's going to flip the board. This is why I like to call it the main foot, because it's really going to be doing most of the work in making and causing the board to flip, while my other foot is really not going to do that much. But I'll talk more about that in a bit. Now you want to figure out for yourself whether you prefer your right foot to be the main one that's going to flip the board or your left foot, okay? So try this out for yourself, see what works out for you, and go with that. And what I want to also mention is you're going to want to keep your main foot not near the wheel a lot, neither far over the edge right there, but somewhere in between, right there. This is kind of the sweet spot, okay? And remember to keep your toes hanging off just a bit. And before you even move on, make sure you're able to comfortably stand with having one foot over the edge like this, because it does feel a little different rather than when you're having both of your feet on the wheels like this, all right? So make sure you're comfortable standing in this position before you even move on. The last and final step is nightmare flipping out of the rail stand. So what you're gonna do is position your feet in the manner I just showed you in the previous step. Then you're gonna use your toes of your main foot to apply pressure, okay? You're gonna apply pressure, push down and back while also trying to shove the board. Now remember, you're not only gonna push down and straight back, as this will only cause the board to flip, and you don't want that. What you want instead is the board to flip as well as turn 180 degrees. And that is why the shoving part is important. So again, you're going to apply pressure with your toes, push down and back while also shoving the board this direction. And you want to do this strong enough. While your other foot is not really going to do that much, as I earlier mentioned. It's simply just going to jump off the wheel, okay? And when you're going to go for the flip, you want to move both of your feet simultaneously as you do this. And this should cause the board to varial double flip, aka nightmare flip. Then boom, you should catch it and land it right there. Now you're going to give this a shot, try it out, see how the board flips and looks under you, and try to land with only one foot on the board first. Now, common issues you might face when you're going to try to do this is the board might flip only once and not turn 180 degrees fully, or you might be able to get the board to flip more than once while turning 180 degrees, but then when you're almost going to land it, it lands upside down. So if this is happening, then it is a sign that you're not pushing down and back while also shoving the board strong enough, okay? With practice, you really want to figure out for yourself how much power and how much pressure you want to put into your main foot to be able to make the board do the full flip as well as turn 180 degrees fully, okay? So practice doing this a lot until you get this down and are able to land with only one foot on the board. Then it's just a matter of commitment, and you want to try your best to land with both of your feet on the board. After you guys land this, then you're going to start from the very beginning, from pinning the board and then shoving, getting into the rail stand, and then nightmare flip out from there. So that is all for this trick tip. I hope you guys learned this trick and have fun with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Please like and please subscribe.